Welcome back to the Polishing Podcast. My name is Nico, otherwise known as Nico All Powerful, one of two hosts on this glorious show. And on the opposite corner of the United States, there is Pixelated Apollo, otherwise known as Pixie Poo. Say hi to the people.
Hello.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since I saw your face, 1 week since I felt your touch, and 3 days since you were back at my house. You remember that song where it's like, it's been...
I don't think it's like that at all.
I mean, no, but it's progressively shorter amounts of time since something happened.
Bare Naked Ladies, yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember who it was by. Also, I like to
Bare
do
Naked
it
Ladies.
the opposite way, where it's like, it's 2 weeks since I saw your face, 3 weeks since I knew who you were, 4 weeks since we last touched. It doesn't make any sense, but I love it. My sense of humor is garbage. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to say that.
All right.
Off to a great start. Anyway.
Polishing Podcast.
Polishing Podcast. So, we have... we're trying to get into the swing of things with the every other week schedule. And if you're on the polishingpodcast.com website, well, you can't be. Now that I'm thinking, well, you could be, but you're not hearing this because this isn't going to be uploaded there. I'm just going to make a post on that website that says, hey, the podcast isn't here anymore. I'll just have to remind myself to do that later. Okay, that was useless information. Oops. I said it in the last podcast that or changing websites, but I wonder how many people are actually going to pay attention to that. Oh, well.
We'll see.
Yeah. So we actually, since we're not doing the podcast every week, it's much easier to talk about new and interesting things because, you know, back before it was like, hey, yeah, we're playing 7 Days to Die. Next podcast. Yeah, still doing the 7 Days to Die thing. Like nothing new happened because it's only been a week. But since last time, we've got all kinds of new stuff.
All kinds of news.
Yeah. So,
All kinds.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start writing the video game stuff? Do you want me to look at the comments from the last episode and like tweets and stuff?
Well, let's do video game, then the YouTube news, and then the comments.
Got it. So if you want to listen to whether or not you had your answered question, Jesus Christ, my brain, your question answered, you're going to have to listen through everything or use a handy dandy fast forward button. But I hope you listen to everything.
Yeah.
All right. Video game stuff. So let's start at common ground. What's a new thing we're both playing? Something nobody ever would expect.
No. Yeah, this is embarrassing.
No, it's not.
It's embarrassing.
It would have been embarrassing.
Apex Legends.
It would have been embarrassing if we got. We love Fortnite. I fucking love Fortnite. It's just,
Yeah.
I just
Well,
fucking the planes.
I love Apex. I mean, Apex is fun.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
really
And
fun.
it's a good like, hey, let's hop on and play real quick.
And then real quick turns into oops, 6 hours.
Yeah.
How long did you play yesterday? Did you start when
Apex?
you asked? Yeah. Did you start when you asked me to get on? And I was like, oh, sorry, going to the eye doctor.
No.
Oh, I thought you played video games for like 13 hours yesterday.
No. Yeah, that was the day I streamed Shogun 2 for 6 hours with Jackie Fish. And then
Oh, man.
I took a break and I got on in like 7,
Okay.
so like 40 minutes before you got on.
Okay.
So I played like 3 matches. And then we played for a couple matches and then I got off.
You played for almost
I just
20 more
like
hours. Yeah.
the last round we played, right at the beginning, I was just like, oh my God, I've been playing video games for way too long today.
See, that's the bad way to lock at it.
Not really, because like I needed to eat and like take care of myself.
No, that's fair. Because one of the worst things I do is whenever Tyler, Ryan, and I play games together, is sometimes I'll whole ass forget to go like we'll play for like 3 hours, and 3 hours will turn to 6, and they'll be like, I haven't eaten since this morning. I'll be like, oh shit. But I don't play games often enough with them for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna get off for a bit and do this. I mean, I'll do it because I'm not I gotta eat food, but for the most part, anytime I play with them, I always forget to eat or something. I'm just like, it's been a whole like week or two. Last time I played with them, it'd been months because I hadn't touched my computer to play games. I was playing my PS4 for the longest time. So,
But yeah, that's just when you're having a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
Good time, no
And it
alcohol
sucks.
required.
It makes me miss the days of being younger and living at my parents' house, like during summer.
Oh, and then you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, I gotta eat, and then your mom would be like, here's some food, and you're like,
Dinner's
yes!
ready. Yeah. Now I gotta like take care of myself and cook for myself.
I don't know. There's been a couple times where I've seen Brittany just be like, here's some food, and you'd be like, oh, what? Sweet. Oh, cool. Thanks, babe. And then you're just like, all right, I guess I'll keep playing.
Well, I think that was when I was streaming. She'll like make me lunch, but yeah, but it's still not as common as like.
Yeah, back in the day when your mom was like, if I don't provide for my family, they don't eat.
Yeah. So those are the days of just like 6 hours, and when you were done, you were like, no, got nothing else to do.
Getting back on. No,
Yeah.
more than 6 hours. I can remember plenty of times where we would just sit there, like in the summer especially. I would wake up at noon and be like, I guess I'll eat some cereal and brush my teeth and then instantly get on my Xbox. That's it.
Until night.
Until 3 a.m. And then I'm like, thanks. I guess I'll go to bed. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with Apex Legend, where we get on and then 6 hours later it's like, oh,
I think
it's been 6 hours.
Yeah, I think the stream you did of it was 6 hours or something, maybe 5.
No, the stream was 4 hours.
Oh, is it 4? Okay.
And the only reason I quit is because you kept disconnecting.
Oh yeah, and
I
then
would have
yesterday
gone
it
longer.
didn't happen at all.
No.
So it seems like if you're having issues, roll back your graphics driver for NVIDIA.
Yeah, you weren't disconnected. You were crashing.
Yeah, it would just crash. But if for whatever reason you're like, oh, I got to keep my NVIDIA drivers up to date, some reason it makes the game crash. Go back to 417.71. Since I did that and turned off G-Sync on my monitor, both of those things have stopped me from crashing.
There you go.
Yeah, which sucks because G-Sync makes it better. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll fix it.
Well, I hope so.
So I think we've claimed probably more than 100 times that we hate BR games.
Oh, trust me, I would prefer if this game wasn't a BR game. Like if they added in a team deathmatch mode, find me in it. Like,
well, I like the BR element because of the teamwork. If it was just team deathmatch, it'd be like Call of Duty, everybody just running around.
that's
Not really
true,
caring.
but at the same time,
Because it's fun when you're like, oh, to the left, to the right, I'm reloading. You know, it's just it's much more enjoyable and intense. But I think the reason I like this BR, I guess I shouldn't have said I hate BR games. I should say I hate all the BR games currently.
yeah, because I don't
It's
like
like-
Call of Duty's Blackout, which is their BR. I don't like it. I don't like Fortnite because I had never liked building, and I don't like PUBG because I think like it feels awful to play because it's buggy and it's glitchy and people camp because you can't move quickly.
Yeah. So Apex came around and I was just like, oh great, another BR game. I was watching gameplay and I was like, yeah, all right, it looks all right. And then you were like, I shouldn't have watched anyone playing it because now I kind of want to play it. I was like, you know what? Let's play it.
Well, you
And
also
then-
said you were out with friends, and they were like, "No,
Right,
dude."
that's true. I was out with friends and they were like, every one of them were like, I hated BR games too, and then I just tried it and I love it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's just hop on real quick and see what it's like. And then 6 hours later, we're like, wow, this is great.
That's fair.
So it's fun, and I think the game addresses many issues with BR games. and they do a good job. I guess we can talk about that.
Yeah. So my one of like I said before, main issues: Fortnite building. Never learned how to build. Don't like building. I think the fact that the meta is if you get shot at, you're supposed to build. You're not supposed to figure out where the shots are coming from. You're not supposed to try to shoot back. It's just build and then try to build over top of your enemy and get the high ground. But when everybody's building, nobody's fighting. It's like that. I don't like watching that. There are a couple people I used to watch who like started to do Fortnite mostly, and when people weren't just building like these crazy giant towers to try to fight each other without ever fighting, I would watch Fortnite because I was like, all right, I still like the streamer. I may not like the game, but I like to watch people play it. But then once the meta was like literally just keep building on top of each other until you run out of materials, I guess, I don't know, I was like, no, thank you. This is fucking awful. I hate watching this. You're not fighting anybody. It's just building and building and building. It's supposed to be a shooter. Shoot each other. I hate it.
I hated the building aspect.
Yeah.
Of it. And just
and
even
I'll
just
admit it's because I'm bad. Like, I don't care. Yeah, I'm bad at Fortnite. I don't give a shit. I never wanted to learn how to build.
Yeah, but that's why we're bad, is because we're not interested.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, like the whole collecting resources is kind of lame too. Like collecting wood and stone and brick and stuff. It's just like, I don't like it. So that's this game. You only collect supplies for your weapons and health and grenades. And
so
there's no building.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, well, what about PUBG? It's too slow. Like, I know there are a bunch of really good PUBG players that like rush and like can be aggressive, but the game doesn't reward aggressiveness. It rewards sitting still, waiting for your opponent to come around a corner and just blasting them in the face. Like, it's more, you could say, quote unquote, tactical or realistic, and that doesn't make for a fun BR game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm someone who loves realistic shooters, but for BR realism, like, it's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the map is so big that you could spend like 40 minutes looting, then you get in your first engagement and you die.
Yeah.
Oh, because someone sniped you and you have no idea where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And it's just
another, I think, thing with PUBG is that it takes a really long time to get into a match. It takes a long time to jump out of the plane. Well, it's probably 10 seconds like every other game, but it feels longer. And like when we were playing on the original map, because I haven't played PUBG since they unleashed. I don't know. They unleashed the maps. They released 2 more maps, one of which is much smaller, where you don't need a vehicle to get around everywhere. But I haven't played those because I was disinterested. But in the original map, if you were to run from one side to the other, you couldn't. Like, you couldn't outrun the circle at that point if you got screwed that hard by the RNG of the circle. And people would be like, well, get good. I'm like, there's no getting good if I can't find a car.
Yeah, it's just, and then like you said, it's like,
also the matches really go poorly. On for so long.
Yeah, and like having to just like, it's very tedious on having to like switch gear and put on attachments, and it's just, it's not fun.
Yeah. Apex comes along and is like, oh, we see all this tedium and bugginess, and we go, here's a really smooth shooter experience. Also, if you want to put attachments on your weapons, look at them on the ground and you pick them up and you immediately attach it. I think.
Yeah, so if you have like an ACOG on a shotgun and then you want to switch it to an assault rifle on the ground, it instantly transfers the ACOG to the new gun. So you don't have to like click through your inventory and reattach the attachments.
Yeah, it's great.
Really convenient.
I think Call of Duty, their blackout mode was instant too, where if you had a gun and you saw an attachment that fits it and you pressed E, it would just go on it instead of you having to pick it up, put it on your gun, or like open your inventory and drag it onto your gun or whatever. It's just literally like pick it up and go. So congrats, Call of Duty. You did something right there. But their map is still ginormous. You have to run around a lot. I don't know why they think, oh, a big map makes it good. It's like most of the people are going to go to one location and die anyway. What's it matter if the map is really big?
Yeah, and it's just it's not fun when you don't see anyone till end game.
Yeah.
Like it's just not fun. It's funner to go to be in a couple engagements and be like, wow, like we made it this far. It's not as rewarding to just be like, oh, there's only 3 squads left and we didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, we ended up on the opposite side of the map
Which
and kept
rarely
running towards the
happens.
circle. Yeah.
Rarely happens in Apex.
I think, I mean, so I have 9 hours in the game because Origin actually logs it. And out of 9 hours of play, 2 matches have ended with us going, where is everyone? And ending up in the top 3.
Yeah, it's so rare that, and then sometimes like you'll be in a match where all the squads for some reason they're like going in one spot, and everybody just kills each other. And then there's like only 10 squads. Like I think there's like 20 squads right at the start.
Yeah, because
so
it's
like
60
half
players.
will kill each other in like the first round. So yeah, it's just a smaller map, and traveling is very fun in that game. Like they've got all kind of zip lines, and you can slide downhill that makes you faster, and you don't take fall damage. So
yeah,
it's just a very fluid experience, and you can
fall
travel
damage
quickly.
is a sin.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate every game where fall damage exists. I get that some games work better with it, but I hate it. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm at point A. That's point B. I want to jump off this cliff to point B. And games go, no, don't do that. You'll die. And I'm like, I hate you.
Yeah. It's just better.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite part about the game is the different character abilities.
Oh, the legends themselves?
Yeah, because the problem with it's just the cool thing is like when you're on a squad in Apex, even if you're not the best shooter, you can still contribute a ton to your team, which I think is cool.
If you're not good at aiming, but you pick Lifeline, you're like, here's a heal drone. I can drop in equipment for you. Like, that's still, you're going to do a whole lot, even if you're not really like killing people.
So that makes it more dynamic and more strategic.
Yeah, it's a lot more team focused than other BR games, because it's like even if you're playing squads and you are on a team, it's not like you're gonna have specialized roles or anything. It's not like, all right, you're gonna be the medic. Yeah, but there's no point, because it's like you can't. And as far as I know, every BR game you can't heal people. You have to just drop medicine for other people to pick up and then heal themselves.
Right.
This is the first one where it's like, there's a character who has a heal drone that you can throw on the ground, and if you're near it, you'll get healed.
Yeah, and there's characters with shields. You can put a shield around you and stuff like that. So it's really cool. But you can, in terms of like PUBG, be like, all right, you're the sniper and you're the close range guy. But how often do people do that, really?
Yeah, and how often do you like? Not only do you do that, but you find the equipment that you can do it with.
Yeah, and it's better for everyone to just have a little of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a long range, short range, and they all have health, because you need to be able to heal yourself and fight through different situations. So, yeah, that's why I like Apex. It's like a blend of a MOBA and
I wouldn't say a
battle
MOBA. I would say more of like a hero thing, like either Rainbow Six Siege, because they all have different characters.
Yeah. That's true. Well, they have like ultimates.
Yeah.
But it's not like a lot. It's not like they have a ton of ability. It's usually one like smaller ability and then an ultimate.
They also all have passive abilities.
Oh yeah, they have passive abilities too.
So like, I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone listening to this has heard about the game at the very least. I say that, then again, when you streamed it, they're like,
what's this?
Yeah, there are enough people going, what is this? Then I'm like, do you guys live under rocks? What is going on? This game came out like, the crazy thing is it came out like a week and a half to 2 or 2.5 weeks ago at this point, and blew the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's been 3 weeks at this point, because I remember somebody on their the official Reddit was like, watch, this game's going to have 500,000 subscribers to the Reddit in 3 weeks, in less time than Fortnite. And it did. In 3 weeks, it got like 500,000 people on their Reddit, which, I mean, is it going to surpass Fortnite? I don't think so. You can play Fortnite on goddamn everything. Switch, Xbox, PS4, tablets, phones. Like there's you just can't beat that. The game, because Apex is only on PC, PS4 and Xbox. So
Yeah.
It'll probably beat it on those systems if you're like not down with the Fortnite meta of building and whatever else is going on. To be honest, I haven't paid attention. I saw a person I follow on Twitter shared a video of them playing, and they were on a hoverboard, so I don't even know what the hell's going on in that game anymore. But I'm like, whatever. I'm a robot with a goddamn grapple hook, and I can shoot a zip line out for my friends. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's not like this game doesn't have weird stuff. I just don't like the weird stuff in Fortnite.
I just like everything about it. Just the guns, the sound effects, the abilities, the gunplay is really fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and I'm usually one to not like arcadey shooters, but I think there's enough strategy into it and like teamwork that gets me really involved and like really into it. And I suck. I mean, like, but I'm having a blast.
He does.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've gotten better, but I usually just play strategy games, so my first-person shooter skills are not great. But since it's a game where I feel like I can contribute in other ways, and again, if you're worried, like maybe you're someone that's like, oh, I just want to focus on shooting. There's like definitely, if you're good at shooting, you're gonna do well.
Yeah,
it's not like you need to be a great support character because there are different heroes that are more like.
Yeah, the funny thing is with your character, with Bloodhound, the character you like, they're able to see through walls and stuff and find tracks of enemies. Like, and when see through walls, it's like I'm pretty sure that their Q
like smoke.
Oh, it's just smoke. It's not. No, it is through a wall. I saw somebody do it while they were underneath people, and they saw their hit like their character.
Was
models.
that Q or the ultimate?
It was their Q because it did a pulse out, and then before they went into the building, they used their ult so they could see through the smoke their Bangalore was thrown down.
Right, because the ult is almost like a heat map. Like it'll show like
it's like predator vision.
Yeah. It'll show like where they were and like how long ago and stuff. Yeah. And that's a good support. I mean, that's good at support and.
Like if you just want to try to see if people are around and kill them.
Yeah. So.
And then another character, it was the weirdest thing ever. There were people who played, like I would follow somebody on Twitter who was like, this character, garbage. I don't care what you say. She's shit. And he was talking about Wraith. And everybody was like, you are so fucking wrong. And he's like, why? You can see where she's going. What's it matter? They're like, that has nothing to do with how good she is. The fact that she can move her entire team across huge distances, and if you were to follow her back through the portal after she goes through it, you could end up way out of position. Like, it's a huge risk reward thing because she opens up portals that you can travel damn near instantly through. And you can do it over an extremely long distance. If an enemy were to go through your portal, they'd end up right in front of you and away from their team. And unless they are a god, there's no way they're winning that fight.
Yeah, and I also want to make it clear that each hero doesn't have like different stats.
Yeah, they all have the same health.
They
do have different hitboxes because the character models that are bigger are easier to hit.
Yeah, so that's one thing to consider, but overall, all the heroes are similar. So again, if you're worried about like, oh, that's stupid,
don't play one of the big dudes. Which there are two of.
But it makes sense that the big dude is easy to hit because he's like got all these like shield abilities.
Yeah, he like and when he aims down sight, he can have a shield in front of him.
Yeah, he's like the guy from Siege, Blackbeard. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, but yeah, it's just they did a great job on just addressing all the issues of BR, at least my issues.
Yeah, same, because I like it.
Yeah, I like. There's no more stupid waiting room thing that all BR games do.
I hate. The funny thing is, everybody's like, "This is the best part." Is the game just loads the map when you're picking your character and stuff. So that way, you're in the match and you're on the plane as soon as your character's picked. And And then you're dropping in 5 seconds or something. That's it.
Yeah, and you're not waiting on an island with all the other players and like
Shooting
people are just
guns.
punching each
Yeah,
other.
It's the
It's
worst.
just a waste of time. Like, yeah, I prefer their system of just picking the character and it just works nicely.
Yeah. I get
And everybody copied PUBG in that. Like
Yeah.
Fortnite does it. I think doesn't Blackout do it?
yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, H1Z1 did it
Oh,
first.
they did it first. Okay.
Well, like there was, well, I mean, this is where you get into the semantics of what's the first BR game. Most people will say mods to other games, Minecraft Battle Royale or Battle
Yeah.
something. It wasn't Battle Royale, but what is it? Was it Minecraft? Fucking what's the movie with Jennifer
Hunger
Lawrence?
Games?
Yeah, it was Minecraft Hunger Games, and there was also what's that Arma? There was an Arma 2 or 3 mod and stuff, and that's where H1Z1 came into effect because the guy who modded Arma.
PUBG was.
So both of the games were H1Z1's Battle Royale was developed by the dude who made PUBG, but after they started to do Battle Royale as a separate thing from H1Z1's like Survivor mode, like as two separate games, at some point the guy who made PUBG, PlayerUnknown, was like, I don't like where you guys are like trying to take the game. I'm gonna do my own thing, and he made PUBG
Okay.
with a studio. So he's actually responsible for a couple different iterations of the Battle Royale genre.
Yeah.
But I think most people were like, oh, Minecraft Hunger Games. But whatever. Doesn't matter. Every single Battle Royale game starts you on an island. You wait a minute, and then you get to play. Or like Fortnite did it first, where it's like it counts down from a minute until it hits like 90-something players, and it counts down from 10 seconds. But this is, since we get to pick a character, in that minute, that time that would normally you'd sit on an island and wait, it just loads the map there and does some of the matchmaking there. So that way, oh, actually, no, matchmaking happens first. I'm an idiot. Because how else do you get your third player if you're only doing 2? But yeah, so it loads the map while you're picking your characters, so you don't even have to wait anymore, which I don't think the other games can even do because of the picking a character part. So it sucks for those games, but hey, I'm glad it works out for this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the ping system.
Oh, yeah, there were like so many articles the day after the game came out being like, Apex is a great team-based battle royale game, and you don't need to use a mic, and it's awesome. It's like because of their ping system.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
And also, you control your friends by saying Mozambique here over and over again.
Yeah. By the way, Mozambique is the worst gun.
Yeah. It's most people call it the meme Zambique because it's just even the developers were like, yeah, we're going to do some balancing of weapons, but for now the Mozambique's going to stay the same because we like the memes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, that's funny.
It's only good if you can't find anything else.
And even then, it's not good. It's just, it's better than your fists.
Better than nothing, yeah.
And I bet some people would be like, not better than your fists. Because I think if you punch someone, it takes 4 hits to kill.
Yeah, because you're so close to an enemy. It's hard. But yeah, I mean, the game rewards you if you're good. There's a lot of weapons that are really powerful, but you have to have a lot of skill using them.
The wingman.
One shot. Yeah, wingman. It's like a revolver. That and so going to the joke about the Mozambique is that someone will find it and then you click
and you ping
Mozambique here, and then the other person goes, I need it.
I need it. Please give me it. Dibs.
So that's what we've been doing. We didn't tell anybody because me and Nico will play and then we'll have like a random. And one time a random started doing it with us.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
So yeah.
And by the reason we're playing, even though it's the 2 of us and we had a random, is because the game is a 3-man squads only right now. And they don't have a duo or solo queue at all, which kind of sucks, but I understand it because the whole point of the game is to have these different abilities in conjunction with each other and have a squad. Yeah. But the developers did say that they're thinking about adding those like solos and duos because the game is so popular. It wouldn't fracture the matchmaking to the point where it'd be hard to find
right.
like players,
Right.
which
And
I'm all
hopefully-
for.
Yeah, because I'd much rather do duos than.
Yeah, though I mean,
If we had one more, like
Yeah.
one more person who's on all the time plays, but
I mean, one of your mods is, but shout out to him because he
Corby?
yeah, he messaged me earlier
Yeah.
asking to play, but I was like,
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
gonna play right now. Cause
Oh, cool.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's on a lot, and I bet he's gonna be on more on the weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Corby. Name drop.
Yes. It's been taking up a lot of my time, and I'm probably gonna stream it more on my channel.
Much to his subscribers' chagrin.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of subscribers were happy that I was playing Apex Legends, but I feel like they're just not giving it a chance.
It's weird because I've noticed the thing in video games recently where there are two like, and I guess it's just popular media in general, movies, TV shows, whatever. It's like there are people. I don't know if I'm just noticing it more, if it always happened or what, but like something will be coming out and people will be like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. It's going to be awesome. And then there will be someone else who's equally like excited, but in the opposite directions. They're like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. I'm going to shit all over it. Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm just noticing it more now that I'm an adult or that it wasn't happening like earlier in my teenage years or what. But it's like for Apex, it's like I haven't seen this opinion. Most of it is like, oh man, this game's really good. And like even people who are like, I don't like BR that much, they're like, oh no, this is a lot of fun. I like it a lot. But there's still some people that are like, why? BR sucks. And I'm like, I get you're allowed to have your opinion, but like, chill out, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because I'm the kind of person who's very counterculture, where if something's really popular, I tend to hate it.
You fucking hipster.
I know. I'm one of those people.
Where's
and
your fucking man bun, you son of a
I
bitch?
would never
have
Oh,
a man
God.
bun?
so never have a man bun.
Well,
I mean, I put my hair in a bun, but not the one where it's on top of my head.
Well, see, that my thing is during your Shogun streams, you should probably do a samurai top knot, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Anyways, I would never hate something so much to go on to forums or other people streaming it and being like, this game sucks. Even if it's like my favorite, like, okay, let's say I have a favorite streamer who plays Total War.
Mhm.
One day he's playing Apex. I'm not going to go on there and be like, why are you playing this game?
See, I don't understand the mentality of I've talked about Moji Mogs before. She recently launched a Patreon that I subscribe to. It's the only Patreon I don't like actually subscribe to because they are my favorite streamer. Hands down, bar none, she's my favorite streamer. There's no real anything to it other than I just really like her personality. It's not even like, oh, she like thirst trapping you, dog. No, it's just she's gay as hell, so I wouldn't like it doesn't even matter. So I'm just like, I want to support you in everything you do. But if she's playing a game I don't give a fuck about, I don't click it. That's it. I just don't go to the stream. I might show up and be like, hey, and I'm here, don't really care about the gameplay, but I'll be one of the viewers. That way you have another person. I'll probably lurk and do other things and not actually like watch so much, but I'm not going to be here like, oh, why are you playing this? I hate this game. I'm not interested in this. Because that's an asshole move.
Yeah.
It's such a dick thing to do. It's like, hey, I don't like that you're doing this. It's like, well, fuck you then. What the hell? Like,
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's just like they hate the game so much. And like I never hated Apex. I honestly didn't know anything about it because I'm like, oh, new BR, don't care.
yeah, exactly. I was just like, oh, a BR game? Damn. Because, like, I know the developers, they made Titanfall 1 and 2. I love both those games. They're awesome. And when I heard Titanfall BR, I was like, oh, just another BR game. And then they did their whole thing. I was like, whatever, BR.
Yeah, so I just didn't do any research, and then I was just like on Twitch, and I was looking at people play it that I know, who I follow. I'm like, oh, okay, it looks all right.
Yeah.
And then I asked like friends about it, and they're like, yeah, it's great. And I was like, okay, let's try it, and it's awesome. So
Yeah.
I think people need to give it a chance. And yes, it's BR, but it's not what you think. So
Yeah. So
yeah, we've been playing a
thumbs
lot
up.
of that. Oh, we forgot the best part about the game.
what is it?
It's free to play,
It's free.
and all the purchases are only cosmetic.
It's free.
Yeah,
Just-
so
It's free real estate.
it's free real estate. Oh, my video I recorded, I said that
Oh,
because
nice.
so I've been playing a medieval city building game called Foundation, and you start off, your first land tile that you start off on is free. So I was like, oh, free real estate.
Did you whisper it though?
No, I think I just kind of like, oh look, free real estate.
I just love the way that video ends, where it's like, it's free real estate. It's
Yeah.
just really quietly.
He was asked about that.
Wait, why?
So
It's
he
just
was on H3 podcast, and they're like, how do you feel about that?
like
meme?
becoming a meme.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's like, oh, there's been a couple. He's like, do you get mad because people are like, they know you as a free real estate guy? And he's like, yeah, kind of. Because, it's from his show.
Yeah, which I mean, if you haven't seen the entire bit to that free real estate thing, and you've just seen his face saying it's free real estate, look up the video. It's so fucking funny. It's a
Yeah.
free house, Jim. We bought it for you. It's so funny. It's already furnished. We got the keys. Just come in and sign for it today. It's free house, Jim. It's so good. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's Tim and Eric. Awesome show. It's too bad that show's not around anymore, but
I mean, it's because their brand. I hated their shit for the longest time, to be honest. But my likes in comedy and comedic stuff have changed so much throughout the years that I get it now.
yeah.
So I'm like, this is absurd and hilarious to me now.
It's considered anti-comedy.
I don't. Is the free real
what it's
estate
labeled.
commercial anti-comedy though? It seems like
Well,
it's
like
just
their
a
style.
bit. Yeah.
Their style is anti-comedy, as in like they don't do the norm of comedy.
Oh, like
you know?
set up punchline.
They're just weird. It's just weird, and sometimes they make fun of comedy.
Okay.
By doing weird comedy. It's just a great show, and
Well,
they're both funny.
yeah. Okay. I was gonna
But
say
yeah,
the very first thing you introduced me
realistic.
was the Terrys, and
The
I don't
Terr-
I don't know why that was your introduction to me,
I don't know.
but
Who
let's
knows?
not go down this rabbit hole right now.
Yeah.
Also, that
can
if
watch
you
that later.
if you want to watch the Terrys, if you're underage, just make sure you got headphones on because it's a lot of swearing.
Yeah, and weird, just weird.
I mean,
Like I think Eric Wareheim is
is he?
pregnant.
Yeah, it's like, aren't they like a
And-
trashy redneck
Yeah.
couple?
Yeah, and she's pregnant, and then I think she gives birth, and it's like a wooden doll. It's really weird. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but
I just remember the whole "fuck you" thing.
yeah, they constantly say "fuck you" to each other. It's
But with that
It's-
cadence, it's like
yeah,
it's fuck
yeah,
yeah.
fuck yeah. Yeah, it's just weird, but I love it.
It's so funny. Oh man. All right. Apex Legends, free real estate. Got it. Before we move on to, I don't remember the next thing. Oh, the YouTube stuff. I have also been playing Anthem, which, if you've seen anything about, that's another example of the fucking divide I was talking about, of people being like, oh, I'm having fun with this, and other people being like, it sucks so bad, oh my god, I hate it. And I'm just like, calm down. It's the
Yeah.
weird, like, I've been playing it for a little bit, Like I'm pretty sure I might even have more hours in Apex, even though I've been able to play Anthem for a week before that. No, actually, I have 12 hours in Anthem because they dropped a patch like 2 days ago that fixed a lot of bugs and stuff, but also introduced some new ones because video games are complex code. If you think a developer will ever be able to kill all the bugs in a game, you are so misguided. The video games are so complicated. But anyway, but one of the things was absurdly long load times, and I couldn't get into the rhythm of the game at all because the load times took forever. I literally timed it, and every single load I had to go through, it's like 1 minute and 20 seconds on my solid state drive.
Oh.
And there are a lot of load screens in the game, like a lot. And recently they put out a patch that said it was supposed to help load times for mainly hard drive users. But I'm running off a solid state and I'm loading in probably in half the amount of time, and I've actually been able to play the game. So yay. And it's okay. I mean, it's not like I'm not sitting here like gonna defend the game or anything. I like it. I think it's fun, and that's all I give a shit about. I think part of the problem with a lot of people being let down by games recently is unrealistic expectations to what the game is going to be because of the company making the game. And I'm like, I knew Anthem was going to be... Oh, my voice is... Am I lagging to you?
No, you're good.
Oh, the bar went red. Anyway, so like BioWare made it, which is known for Mass Effect, Dragon Age, like Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR 1 and 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And like, these are big story RPGs, in-depth everything, but they were like, oh, we're making a looter shooter, but it's supposed to be like having a good story. And for a looter shooter, the story is not terrible, but looter shooters don't have good stories, and I didn't expect this one to either. So, but apparently there are a lot of people that are like, there's like no story here. It's not interesting. What happened, BioWare? Where are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I was just like, oh, it's a looter shooter and not like this grand scale single player RPG that they've been doing for so long. So I didn't expect a story, but there are still people that are like, but I wanted that story. I'm like, well, is that your fault or is that their fault at that point?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the game's fine. I'm going to play it until I don't want to play it anymore, or until somebody's like, hey, want to play Apex? And then I'll stop playing that. But that's the game I'm playing by myself right now for the most part, and I like it. I don't know. Sue me. Yell at me in the comments, I guess, because you hate it and you think everyone should. Because apparently that's how everyone is nowadays. But yeah, those are just my quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean... I do have to say Apex is not as fun without friends.
Yeah, because you said you played some solo matches and you were like...
Yeah, I played some solo matches, and there was only one time... Again, I didn't do it a ton. I did like 3-4 matches. And one dude was just a jerk. He's like, he loads in, he's just right away. He's just loud and just like, anybody else here have mics? And then like, I'm just like, I'm just not responding to this guy. It's like, this is going to be a crappy match. He's like, oh my God, you get a BR game, but you have no mics. And then he started saying slurs and just like, and then he just, no mics or disconnect. And he just disconnected. God. So,
what a piece of work.
Yeah. And me and the other guy is just, we did our best, but we lost.
I would really hope after he disconnects, you would just get on your mic and be, God, that guy was awful. And you made a new best friend.
I just typed in like, well, that was something. And he didn't reply though, so he's probably just like, whatever.
Yeah. God, but, weird.
Yeah, that was really bizarre, and that was the only time though.
Yeah.
The rest are, I mean, we played with a lot of randoms, and they seemed all decent.
Yeah, the only wins we've gotten was with a random squad mate.
Yeah. I think another bad situation was we lost pretty early, and the guy was like, couldn't even win a gunfight, and then that was it. But I'm just like, dude, you can just reload into another match. Like, what's your deal?
People are weird.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it.
You didn't win the gunfight either, bro. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, wait, who are you? What are you talking smack when
Are
you
you-
couldn't do anything either?
Are you yelling at yourself and you accidentally press the push to talk key? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
Why are
on?
you holding down T and yelling at yourself? I don't want to hear that.
No.
Keep your shit to yourself.
Oh, and I like the revive thing you can do.
Oh yeah, you could respawn teammates.
Yeah. So
Is the best thing ever, because usually if you die in a BR game, because people are so quick to down and execute even if it's not the right call. Because my least favorite thing about playing PUBG, Fortnite, or whatever is getting downed, and as your team is coming to fight the people shooting at you, they just outright kill you, and then your team wipes the entire enemy squad, and you're like, fucking cool, they got one kill, and then now I don't get to play anymore. And so
Yeah,
they were
instead of-
like,
yeah.
oh, hey, why don't we make it to where you could respawn your teammates? And that's amazing.
Yeah. It's really good because you don't have to sit out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it's really important to kill the entire squad.
Yeah, you instead of just killing one of the people you
And
downed.
it's hard to revive your teammates. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So
Because you
like,
gotta
and it-
pick up their
Yeah.
banner or whatever they call it, I don't remember. Basically their dog tags almost. And then take them to a beacon that calls in a dropship that you jump out of.
which everybody can see.
Yeah, you
and
can hear it from a really long, far, like a pretty far distance away.
And when you're being revived, like when you spawn back in, you have nothing.
You got zilch.
So I think it's completely fair. And also you have like if your teammate goes down,
Mhm.
you have a set, like I think a minute to collect their
No, it's
beacon.
90 seconds.
Oh, 90 seconds to collect their beacon. And if you can't get there in time, then they're out of the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard, which it should be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be just like, oh, okay, we get to respawn you.
It just kind of rewards the squad that won the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Because like maybe they won the fight, but their teammate went down. Well,
Yeah.
they can save them. Yeah.
It also rewards being aggressive, which is another thing I like. It's not
Yes.
a game where you don't want to sit in one spot if you're in the circle waiting for the circle to come for you. Or like come to you and wait for all the enemies to come towards your direction. I mean, if you have like the high ground and stuff, don't leave it. Like don't put yourself in a disadvantage, like out of position or anything, but it's sitting and waiting for everybody to come towards you isn't usually the best call at all. It's usually better to
Yeah.
run around and try to find people than it is to sit in one spot. Like in PUBG, since the circle starts so big, it's so easy to just go from building to building and just wait and hope someone enters it. Whereas this
Yeah.
it's so much better to like run around and like
Yeah.
slide between cover if you need it and stuff. And
Yeah.
as long as you
For
have
sure.
good positioning, because BR games come down to whether or not you put yourself in a really terrible spot. And if you're smart enough not to do that, you'll most likely win the gunfights you get in. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, having a teammate that's really good at gunfights helps.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know who you're talking about, but it's
Well, you're better than me. So.
I just think it's funny that some people are like, Nico's so good, and I'm like, have you watched anyone else? Because like, yeah,
Well, you're probably better than the average player. So
I mean, I know that but the average player isn't good. So that's the
Yeah.
but that's the thing. You're comparing me to the quote unquote average, and the average is bad.
But that's the average. So if you're above average, you're good.
I know it just feels silly because there are people even that in your stream are like, Nico's so good at Call of Duty. I'm like, I have maybe a 2.3 KD on PC. There are people that literally have like a 6 KD and can carry an entire match by themselves. Like I can't do that.
Well, they're usually like professionals.
There's no professional Call of Duty players on PC because there's no pro
but
scene.
they play other shooters,
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're the Shrouds of the world who can literally play
Yeah.
any shooter and he just
Or Summit.
fucks on everyone. I think Shroud's better than Summit because Shroud's an
Probably.
ex-CSGO pro.
Well, so is Summit.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
I didn't
known
know
for
that.
the cocktail.
I don't know.
Well,
Wait, Molotov
Is it-
cocktail?
yeah.
Oh.
So like he was in a match, so he's gonna win, and then it was like a bomb CS:GO thing,
Hmm.
and he killed the last person, but he had to defuse the bomb.
Hmm.
But he killed him with the Molotov, and it was still burning when he got to the bomb and he killed himself by walking in the fire. Like he did some amazing kill and then kills himself with fire.
But if he didn't get, like, it was either try to defuse and take the damage.
No, he had time. He just had to wait for the fire to go away.
Oh, damn. That's just bad
Yeah.
decision making.
It's just, probably just the heat of the moment.
Yeah,
No
nerves.
pun intended.
Yeah.
But
God damn it.
but I think that's what made him famous in a way. And then he started streaming and he was like, oh, I can make so much more money doing this than being a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like one of the biggest streamers.
Yeah. I just know Shroud comes from, like, everybody's always, like, because in PUBG, he could just, slay out hit the ass. Like, he would land. Oh, no, we played the desert map a little bit. So we played one of the other PUBG maps, but that one's also fucking huge. You know the area in that map with the boxing ring, the arena?
Yeah.
He'd land there, kill everybody in the arena. Like, he'd start the match with, like, 10 kills.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
Just really good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster. Like, no matter what BR game he plays, he's like always gonna have top frag in the server if you're end up in his server. So, like, I can't do that. Like, the 2 matches we won, I think I've gotten a lot of kills, and then one match where we didn't win, I happened to get a lot of kills. And I think the first match we won, I got 8 or 7, and the second one was 8. I don't know, but like, yeah, my highest kills in Apex are 8, which 8 out of 60 people is it's not terrible, but
Yeah, I mean, if you got paid to play video games like that, like streaming, you'd be up there. I mean, that's all you do every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that you'd be as good as him, but you'd still be like really good.
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
fair.
Just takes practice and time.
Yeah, and I don't play since there's no solo queue, I'm not gonna play it by myself because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have to have a guy come in and just start saying the N-word for no reason.
Yeah,
weirdos.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be playing a lot more Apex, so.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying.
Because one of my issues is like I'll play realistic shooters like Squad, and I suck at shooting because I just never like. I like all the strategy of maneuvering and setting up camps and everything like that. But in terms of firefights, that's why I'm usually medic, because I'm like, all right, well, let me not shoot and try to heal people. But you still need to shoot. But like playing these more twitchy shooters definitely has helped me in that regard. Just being faster.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Apex, COD, I mean, they're not, like, when somebody says Twitch shooter, they're, like, those are the closest things, but a lot, like, back in the day, it was, like, Quake and Unreal, where it's literally, like, if you can't swipe across and have a beat on someone immediately, you're dead. Like, those were, like, Twitch shooters.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. CSGO, because people know the recoil of their gun after they play for so long that they can just ping headshots all the time.
Yeah, man. I watched competitive gameplay of CSGO, and I'm just like, what? This does not look fun at all. It's just like everyone at the same spot every match.
Yeah.
Looking at angles and throwing grenades and smoke grenades at the perfect angle. It's just like, ugh.
They know exactly where to throw a grenade to make it pop the smoke in the same spot every single time.
Yeah, it's just gross.
It's so gross when people are good at stuff.
No, I mean, like, it's just like the same thing over and over.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Like, I'd rather some, like, that's why, whatever. Well, I mean, we don't have enough time to talk about that, but we should move on to the YouTube thing since we've spent so much on Apex.
Oh, it was just games in general, but okay.
Yeah.
If you haven't been aware of weird happenings on YouTube, go ahead and fill them in.
Oh, so YouTube just announced that, I guess, like, did a YouTuber bring this up?
I mean, the person that tweeted at them, I think, says they're, I don't know if they're a YouTuber, but they have a YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they,
Oh, yeah, I mean, it looks like this is a real YouTube channel. Like, they're a YouTuber that does a lot of stuff with gymnastics, and it's their kid and stuff.
Yeah, and they had issues of their videos being demonetized.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently YouTube has claimed that they're now only if there's something in the video that can cause it to be demonetized. Now, even if the video is okay for ads, if there's something in the comments section that is considered offensive or whatever their guidelines are, they can demonetize the video.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting, because my biggest issue with that is that people can if someone doesn't like a YouTuber, they can go on and say disgusting things, and now they can't make money.
Yeah.
And it's like they said, well, YouTubers need to be better at monetizing their comment section.
Moderating. Yeah, or moderating. Yeah, either or.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And it's just like, whoa, that's not the YouTuber's responsibility. He can't control. I mean, I guess he can, but like, who's gonna get on and check every single message or comment?
You can't. Like, one of the things that I've seen a lot of from like even like really big YouTubers, they're like, I look at all of the comments for the first hour of the video, and then after that, I can't. Like, there's too many comments that I can't keep up with them. Because there's no way. Once you get past a certain point, like, there's no way to look at all of the comments. Like, you have 500-something thousand subscribers. How many comments do you usually get on a video?
Like 200. It depends on the video, but like 200 comments. I'm not like, after all the time it takes to make a video, upload it, do the thumbnail, do the tags, do the description, everything, you know, I'm not going to spend hours checking every video and every comment.
It's only 200? Really?
Yeah.
That seems low. That seems really low.
That's about it. I mean, again, it depends on the video. Like, if it's super interactive video, like it doesn't even, like, there's usually the more views, the more comments, but sometimes maybe I'll say something that everyone needs to correct, you know, over and over and over.
So just to get a clarification, your Sub Commander's Shogun 2 video that came out 2 days ago is at 314. So if we say in a 24-hour period 200 comments come up, like, if I were to try to scroll through 300 comments, it's still going. I started like a couple seconds ago. And this is just scrolling
and then
through
read them.
Yeah.
And you have to read them, you know? Like, that's it. It's not the YouTuber's responsibility to, I mean, you can try to monitor, but like, most of the time,
I finally got to the end.
Usually what I do is I'll skim through the comments and I'll look for ones or someone's, you know, saying, hey, great video. I'll heart it, you know? I mean, most of the time, especially big YouTubers, they don't even look at the comments section.
Or like do what I said, which is like for the first, I mean, I don't know. I know some, like, I remember one YouTuber saying for the first hour they read comments, but after that point, it's like, I got to do other things because you can't just look at the comments for every single comment. Or for like, cause you just, even with 300 comments, it took me a couple, like, what was that? A minute and a half to scroll all the way through them without reading them.
Yeah.
To read 300 comments, like, even if you're a speed reader, isn't going to be a short amount of time. And that's time you take out of every single day to make sure no one's saying something weird. But the problem with this system is it means they have a system in place to monitor their comment sections. And instead of getting rid of the user that's saying the comment, they're doing something to the creator, which doesn't make any sense. You have a system in place to monitor comments, and instead of getting rid of the person that posted the comment, you're going to hurt the creator. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's
so backwards.
It's just, that's usually the YouTube way.
So that is weird, and I guess, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen it on anybody else's. Maybe it's specific to under, like, children being in the video and stuff. Like, maybe it's a very specific case of that kind of thing because there's a whole other controversy going on top of this one.
Yeah.
So who knows? But it doesn't make any sense with that way at all.
Yeah, it's just not. Again, like, whenever there's an issue on YouTube, they always make it the creator's problem. You know, they never like try to fix it on their end.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty bad. Like
It's weird.
comments should not be. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
Terrible system.
I don't understand the meetings. Like, who's having these ideas and they're all agreeing? Like,
Yeah, I
hey,
don't
we
know.
should, yeah, whatever. So,
But the weirder thing is, it's like, so you don't want to make money? Because, like, having a content ID claim or demonetizing a video based off a comment on the video, it can't be a content ID claim. It's just a demonetized video, right? Like, it's not
Yeah.
advertiser friendly.
yeah,
That just means YouTube's also losing money.
yeah, they're losing money. I don't.
That makes no sense. That's so backwards. Do they want YouTube to fail? Is that the thing? It's like, are they like, oh, we're so fed up with dealing with this site?
Yeah, I don't get it. I
Ugh.
don't get it. So that's what's going on. I have a feeling it won't. I mean, this seems like the worst idea yet that
Mhm.
they've had. So I have a feeling that it's probably not gonna work. I don't know. Hopefully, they remove that policy.
Yeah. But yeah. So, and last but not least, comments and other things. So, based off the last podcast, we got our good old boy T-Rex with a shotgun or with a thick axe or a credit card or whatever he's got going on at the time. He tweeted at the Polishing Podcast Twitter at Polishing Pod, because I forgot to mention that. He says, glad the podcast is back. Here's a question for the next cast. What is a natural phenomena you have not experienced or would like to? Examples: Northern Lights, triple rainbow, etc.
Triple rainbow.
Look, I've never seen a double rainbow, so I'm not even going to try for a triple.
Is there a triple?
I
Is
mean,
there
if
such a thing?
if there's double, why wouldn't there be triple?
I don't know.
Should I
Maybe
hit
it
up
just
a Google?
maxes out.
Do triple rainbows exist? Top result. According to the Optical Society in Washington, D.C., a scientific society with 16,000 members around the world, have been only 5 scientific reports of triple rainbows in 250 years.
Okay, so
So, yeah, some scientists believe triple and quadruple rainbows did not truly exist in nature, but now scientists have their proof. So there are triple and quadruple rainbows.
wow.
So,
Well, not rainbows. No, I don't really care about rainbows.
so after all that, you're like, yeah, I don't really want to see it.
Well, it's just yeah, no, because rainbows are like, I don't know, it's just light going through rain.
So is
You
the
know?
aurora borealis. I mean, it's not light through rain, but it's just lights hitting the
Yeah, but
atmosphere
that's
differently.
cool. It looks cool.
Oh, so what you're saying is you hate the gays. No.
Oh, there we go. They took away the rainbow.
No, I mean, I guess that's fair. If I saw a triple rainbow, cool, but I'm not like, oh, I gotta see it.
That's something I gotta see before I die.
Yeah, especially if it's apparently so rare. Even scientists were like, nah, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah. I think for me, like Haley's Comet.
aren't we gonna be like, when's the next time it's supposed to come around?
I think it came around in the 80s and it comes every 70 years. So we'll probably be
Like,
60 something.
let's see, it's 2019, one more year, it's 2020. It's be
I don't know
2050.
when in the 80s. I don't know if it was like 80. It might be like 85, 87. I don't
Okay,
know.
well, let's just go with 89. So in 70 years. No, not 70, 40 years. Right?
Yeah.
Because 70 years from 89, 59.
Yeah.
40 years. We'll be 66. Turning
Yeah,
67 years old.
That would be cool. Northern Lights. That's something you could do now.
Yeah, go to... Wait, is it Alaska? No, I don't think you can go to Alaska. That's not north enough, is it?
No, it is. Yeah,
Oh, it
you can
is?
see it from
Okay.
Alaska. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Are there other things? I mean, it doesn't have to be light-based. It's just natural stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing
Well,
good old faithful. I almost called it good
she's not
faithful.
faithful anymore.
Oh, that's true, because it could erupt and destroy half the United States.
No, that's a volcano.
Isn't that beneath
It's-
Old Faithful? Isn't that the whole reason it was
that's why
doing
it's
it?
relating. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big issue. That's that people don't ever talk about.
It's what are we supposed to do?
Well, we need to come up with a way to like get rid of the pressure.
I mean, I guess
Like,
that's
we have
fair.
to.
That's fair, but there's a whole sect of people that don't believe that even though it snowed in California today, that there's no such thing as a climate change. So I think we're doomed.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
It snowed
I
in
don't know.
California. You remember that Disney movie where that little girl gets like Santa's weather changing device and it snows in California and everybody freaks out because it's terrible and awful and there's never been snow in
Yeah.
California? That should have happened in real life, and instead people are like, "Oh, look, snow." And I saw like maybe 2 people going, "This is bad. That shouldn't happen."
yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem with that is people think it's some kind of political thing. You know, like they just like, oh, it's just politics, trying to get a cleaner environment. How dare they?
yeah. Well,
Um,
but that's the thing. It's like, how are we going to make them believe that a super volcano underneath a thing of hot water is going to explode at some point? If we can't even get them to believe that
Well,
the
you try
climate
to
is
make
changing.
it not seem. I don't know. I mean, like, I, I
I'm
think global
scared.
warming is probably a bigger threat than the volcano, but I think the volcano erupts every 500 years, something like that.
I'm
And
scared.
it completely wipes out North America.
I thought
like,
it, was
it
only,
wipes it out.
like all the way to like Texas or something. I thought it was only like
Oh,
most of
no. Well, you might escape the ashes,
it.
but it will cause like a nuclear like winter.
Yeah, because of
And-
all the debris it shoots up.
Yeah, yeah. And there will be just winter.
Nice.
That's
I can't
it.
wait to live in fucking Game of Thrones world.
But I think it's like it's got like another 100 years till it erupts. So
Oh, well, if we hear anything about it, I'm going to kill myself, so. I'm not living
mean-
through a 100-year winter.
well, I'm saying like no, not the winter it lasts. I think the volcano won't erupt until another 100 years.
Yeah, but how long will it take for that winter to end?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
know.
want if like for some because like recently scientists were like, oh, we were off on when a black hole is made by a couple millennia, but it's still going to be like a whole bunch of hundreds of millions of years before something happens. Oh no, it's one of the stars in the Milky Way galaxy turning into a black hole and destroying everything here. They were like, oh, we were off by a couple hundred millions of years. It's like, oh, it's still 200 million. Don't think it's tomorrow. Like in the next 10 years, we're
Yeah.
doomed. But like, I'm like, okay, so what if we're off by 400 years on this thing? I'm like, no,
That's
thank
true.
you.
That's true. But I think that has a little bit more consistency.
I mean, I guess that's fair. We're like black holes and stars and stuff. We don't have a lot of expertise there because, we
Yeah, it's
don't
still
go to
new.
space that often.
Yeah, that's another issue, not funding space. I don't understand that.
Yeah. Also,
If you want to save the human race, then
T-Rex was like, hey, what's something you look forward to?
I
And we're
know.
like, oh, God, we're going to die. We're all doomed.
yeah.
That's, being adult.
Well, I mean, we're all doomed anyways, so.
Yeah, makes me feel so much better. All right.
I mean, it
no,
is. Well,
no, I mean, that's fair. I
mean,
don't
you
know.
were fine before you were born, right?
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I just got to make sure that point between living and no longer existing isn't terrible.
That's true.
That
That's
period
good.
where you start to not exist. I want that part to not be awful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I want it to not be, oh man, it's real cold out. We have no heating because heating doesn't work anymore and haven't eaten in 2 weeks.
Well, you don't get a choice, Nico. So,
Oh, you think I won't get a choice in that?
well, I mean, as in, what's gonna happen?
It's like there are a lot of things I could do to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
And all of them are very dark. I'm not going to explain them.
I mean, I would like live through maybe a couple months.
It depends on how we handle it. Because if it's instantly martial law, like no crops are growing because we didn't plan for this at all. I'm like, nah, this isn't.
Well, maybe there'll be like compounds that will have like greenhouses set up where crops are still growing.
One could hope, but I don't want to live through some like
That'd
post-apocalyptic.
be a good book. Good,
Probably
like,
is
science
a
fiction
book.
Probably.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the book Alas Babylon?
No.
It's about like surviving nuclear war.
Ooh.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
There's a TV show, I think it might be a Netflix original, I'm not entirely sure, called Travelers, where it's about a group of people who travel from the future to the past to prevent a world-ending event. Because in the future, they live underground because life isn't really sustainable on the surface of the earth, but like they don't have any meat. All they eat are vegetables because that's the only thing that grows underground in their greenhouses and stuff. And they're like, and then there's an AI that they have that's like, I know all of the outcomes of what's going to happen because of all of recorded history. So we're going to send you back in time to try to make it to where this future doesn't happen. And it's a cool show, but at the same time, it falls into the trap of, well, if that was the case, why does this future exist? If you can time travel, then why does this future even exist in the first place? Which is,
I don't like time travel.
Yeah, because time travel always fucks itself like that. It's like, if you can do time travel, then it should have happened. Like, if time travel exists in the point of human history at some point, we should have evidence of it happening already. Like, so it either doesn't happen or isn't possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe going in the future is possible.
Yeah, but who wants to do that?
That's true.
Go to the future. Oh, radiation! Geiger counter's going crazy! Oh, no!
Barren wasteland.
We gotta do something. That was awful. Also, I have a second face. Oh, geez, Tom.
Fallout. So next question.
So nothing on Twitter, but there was one on the old website that we no longer can upload to.
Nice.
Or is it two of them? Is it just one? Oh, okay. So it's more than one. So Lawrence is sad. Send love. I'm not from South Africa. It was another guy who described their entire educational system in 3 paragraphs. Forgot his name. I don't see. The funny thing is I didn't go back far enough to figure out if that was him because that was an early podcast. But if it wasn't Lawrence, we're sorry that we thought you were the one from South Africa that mentioned his entire educational system. Bob Ross's alter ego, unfortunately, had to make a new account.
Oh no.
He's like, I forgot my other account password, so hey, this is me.
So it's now Bob Ross's other.
I don't know. So the weird thing is he's got Bob Ross's alter ego. Oh no. So wait, why is
Bob Ross doesn't have an ego. This is saint.
So, well, it shows his full name on this comment, but it also is Bob Ross's alter ego. So I don't know what happened. That's weird. But this is the comment where he asks, "Hey Nico, what is your favorite bit in Dynamic Banter? Mine personally is the crazy old lady they used to talk about all the time. And please inform Trent of that glorious woman." I will. Which is the better tactician, Trent, Robert E. Lee, or Robert Lee's ghost? Once again, he loves the podcast. Bob Ross's backstory sounds hell of a lot more like some backstory to a really bad superhero. True. We had seen this comment and talked about it for a second off podcast. And I know we both agreed that Robert E. Lee's ghost with all of his ectoplasmy powers would be a better tactician than both you or him in life.
Yeah. So Robert E. Lee, he's a general, whatever. Robert E. Lee's ghost is older than Robert E. Lee. Because Robert E. Lee is not a ghost yet. Mm-hmm. And so he would have all that back knowledge of...
and he's a ghost.
Then today's knowledge. So he's just watching wars. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, he's hanging out with you, giving you $2 bills.
Yeah, that's true. think it was a $5 bill. So.
Oh, I mean, either or. I don't remember the
$5
story.
bill. I don't remember
specifically.
It's laying around here somewhere.
It's just, he's just shaking his head in the corner. How could you? He's just laying
Yeah.
around.
I spent all my plasm to get to you.
And now you're just throwing the money wherever you please.
I had somewhere safe. I'm not just throwing it around.
You took it out of its
It's a
case.
historic item, you know.
Just tossing it. And
Ran
so
out of toilet paper.
I gotta use the $5 bill.
Oh, Robert E. Lee would be so mad.
He's just in the bathroom like, don't you dare. I swear to God. And he's like,
Use
what
your
God?
hand.
It's like, what God? You're a ghost. Just,
Exactly.
but
Yeah, okay.
so the crazy old woman they used to talk about in Dynamic Banter is, so Mike and Steve, the hosts of that podcast, lived in a either apartment complex or just in apartments near each other, and they used to do the podcast out of Steve's apartment. And in his building, there was a crazy old woman who used to yell at trash.
Oh no.
And I mean, used to, she still does apparently, but they stopped talking about her because I guess they mentioned on the podcast, like, hey, we should probably stop talking about the crazy old woman. And they were like, yeah, probably. And then recently, like as of like a month or two ago, Steve brought his new now girlfriend on the podcast, was talking about the crazy old woman because somebody had written in about like, hey, there's a Wikipedia with every bit you've ever done on the podcast, and someone literally went through and is like time-stamped every single joke and bit they've done.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have 131 episodes or something, and I think, let me double check because they uploaded one today. 141. I was 10 off. And somebody has an entire Wikipedia page of all of their bits that they do. And he was going over one, and this is where they were talking about the crazy old lady. And he tells his girlfriend, he's like, yeah, we decided to stop talking about her on the podcast and just kind of in general, because we started to realize we may or may not be making fun of someone with a mental disability, and it didn't feel good. It started to feel like bullying, and yeah, it wasn't good. And his girlfriend was like, oh, that makes sense. And he's like, yeah, it wasn't good. But the stories they made up of her were amazingly funny, which is terrible to say. Like there's a whole bit they have where like Steve's talking about driving into the building with the gate where you have to, the gate opens, you drive in, and he's sitting there and she's trying to walk through said gate like as it's opening, and he starts to like ease up forward, but not fast or anything. And as he's like easing forward, even though he sees her, she just starts yelling, yeah, you better watch out. And he's like, I'm not going fast. and and she started to like walk near his car, and Mike instantly goes, so she picked up your car and dragged you into her dimension. Like she's some otherworldly being that exists outside of our realm.
That's funny.
And then they go back and forth about being in her upside down hell of a dimension. And it was really funny, and it makes for good bits, but then they're like, we don't know if this is okay anymore.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but one of my favorite things,
but that's comedy, you know.
Yeah, that's true. They came to a decision between the two of them where it's like, this feels like we're punching down when we don't have to, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's, yeah, because you know what they say, comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yeah.
And maybe they should wait. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, but hey, it's their decision with what they talk about on their podcast, so I'm okay with not hearing about the crazy old woman. Because she might.
Well, it sounds like the joke was said, you know.
I mean, they kept making up different stuff. It was kind of amazing. There's a whole side bit how there was a cat in a fucking gym at the apartments, I think, and Steve was like, I haven't seen the crazy old woman. What if she's that cat? She could turn into a cat, and there was a whole thing with that. It was good, but. So my favorite bit would have to be the episode It's entitled, "Can we address the E.T. in the dress in the room?" And it's because Steve buys an E.T. in the dress life-size statue or toy or whatever. And instead of putting the ET in a dress anywhere that makes sense in his apartment, he sits it on the counter in his kitchen.
Oh God.
So it's just eye level with everything.
Oh God. Why?
Because he's like, I don't know where to put it, so he puts it on the
Why
counter.
have an ET with a dress?
So they go into it in the episode, and Steve's like, I was born in June of the year E.T. came out. So he was born, and then a couple days later, E.T. came out, and his mom was, when he was a couple years old, was like, oh, you want to watch this movie? It came out a couple days after you were born, and it's like E.T. to him is like a special thing because he saw it when he was really young, and he loves the movie. But, and like years later, they made a life-size E.T., just like a regular E.T. that he couldn't find to buy. And then they did another release because people were like, please, we want more of these ETs, where ET's in a dress and he's got the makeup on and the diamonds and the hat, all that stuff. So he was like, I'm going to buy ET in a dress.
Yeah, that's still weird.
I mean, it is weird. But that's the whole thing, is that like half the podcast is Mike being like, I don't like that ET's eye level with me. This isn't the right spot for ET to be in.
Just put him in the closet. Wasn't he like hiding in the closet?
Yes, that's actually what Mike says. Steve's like, well, where do you want me to put him? And Mike's like, well, he should be in the closet.
Yeah. Like he's hiding in clothes.
Yeah. Oh,
or
God.
something.
No, yeah, it's like a pile of clothes and stuff, and he comes
Yeah.
out and Drew Barrymore screams.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite bit from their stuff, is the ET in a dress, because it's so weird.
That's weird.
Oh man. But I think other than that, Josephine's corner, and then we should wrap this up.
Josephine's doing well.
Okay. Is she adjusted quickly to her
Yes.
new location?
Yes, she's now comfortable in the new house, new
Nice.
location. So
Cool. And then I know you said this on stream, but you finally got your new refrigerator for all the podcast listeners.
oh yeah, finally a refrigerator that's more expensive but smaller.
And actually
It-
fits.
And it fits. Yeah, it's not in the walkway. So
Nice.
it's been nice. We've only just gotten it too. I think it came on Valentine's Day. So
Nice. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
that long ago.
no.
All right. Well, that is the Polishing Podcast for February 22nd. Okay, I thought it was the 21st. I'm an idiot. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. No. Hey, Nico, you used to do YouTube, didn't you? Yeah, maybe a little. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. My name is Nico. You can follow me on Twitter, I guess. I don't tweet, but, / Nico All Powerful. Follow the podcast at Polishing Pod. The podcast is on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all the good stuff. Yeah, that's all I got. You got anything?
No, just Pixelated Apollo. Twitter. No longer Facebook. YouTube.
And yeah.
Stay clean, stay polished.
Yeah. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and God bless.